January this year to look into the feasibility of free higher education in the country. The South African Union of Students was the first to give its presentation to the Commission. Now, the Fees Commission got off to a heated start, with students questioning why the Commission took 7 months before hosting the public hearings. It called for no fee increment in 2017. It said that government needed to cut the wage bill of ministers, mayors and MPs to help fund students. They were outraged that the Commission did not debate their presentation. Commission Chair Judge Jonathan Hare explained that at this stage, the Commission is only taking oral submissions and will engage students at a later stage. Wits University and the Department of Higher Education and Training are also expected to give presentations. Now, for more on the story, we cross now live to Sipho Stuurman in Pretoria to get an update from an hour ago. Sipho, thanks for coming back. Can you give us an update on what's changed since we last spoke?
A very good afternoon to you. Indeed, we are inside here where the commission has been taking place. Currently it is adjourned after the second presentation, which was given by the Wits delegation with Professor Adam Habib there, the Vice Chancellor of Wits, leading that delegation. But more interestingly was, of course, the matter that was discussed much earlier when the students gave their presentation, and they expressed that they've lost confidence in this commission. And it's quite interesting that, you know, it's day one of the public hearings, and already the students have expressed great dissatisfaction with the hearing. And most importantly, they're saying it's the fact that the commission failed to engage their presentation thoroughly, and they felt that it does injustice to what they were bringing forward there. As you mentioned into your intro, the issue of that, you know, they want more the public wage bill to be cut so that funding can go more to students. But with me here, I've got the spokesperson for the commission to just answer some of the concerns that the students have raised regarding the manner that the commission has started off today. Firstly, let's tackle the issue that the students feel like, you know, they were not treated well in terms of the lack of engagement with their presentation. Why did that happen?
Yeah, firstly, let's say we are pleased with the commission that the students did come and present their views. It's very important. They are key stakeholders. If there are issues that the students are raising, we are prepared to be engaging with them further. It might be that the processes that are being followed here are not very familiar with. But as the commission, we are prepared to sit down with them and keep them on board, because we consider them to be a key stakeholder in this process.
Okay, now talk to us about the issue that the students also were angered by the fact that the commission took a bit long to actually sit for its first hearings. Talk to us about why did it take 7 months after it was formed by the president in January early this year for the commission to only sit now?
Yeah, there appears to be a misunderstanding on the time that has been spent. The statutory demands requires of the commission to first sift through a big volume of statistics, regulations, policies, reports that were made by previous ministerial and presidential committees. Before we can even start to structure this hearing, we've had to go through that. Remember, we also had the written submissions that we called for, which is why these now are being taken into the public. So that time also went into that. So it's not really like it was a time spent sitting and doing nothing. There were lots of other processes.
All right, and just very briefly, some of the concerns that the students were really upset about is the issue that the commission had made it clear that it's not here to deal with the matter of fee increments for 2017. Can you just clear us that up? What is the commission's take on that particular matter of no fee increment for 2017 as requested by the students here during their presentation?
Yes, unfortunately, that goes beyond our mandate. Our mandate is to investigate, is to interrogate the positions that people have made, to recommend to the president the feasibility or lack thereof of a fee-free higher education and training environment in the country. So that doesn't mean we can stop universities or even the Department of Higher Education from continuing with what they feel are necessary processes on their own.
All right, well, that is the Fees Commission saying that they do not have the powers to stop universities and the Department of Higher Education for possibly increasing the fees for the year 2017. That was one of the demands that the students made, that since last year the president had, made the zero fee increment for 2016. They want to see that continue, and they came to that to this commission with that view, but the commission say that they do not have the mandate for that. So the competition continues. We will also hear presentations from the Department of Higher Education and Training and other stakeholders that are involved in this matter. It's back to you.
Thank you very much, Sipho Stuurman, bringing us updates live from the Fee Commission out in Pretoria. Now, further afield, Brazil's Senate has voted to indict President Dilma